In this documentary, we embark on a journey through the extraordinary life of Moses, a figure whose legacy echoes across religious and historical landscapes. Venerated as a prophet in Judaism, Christianity, and Islam, Moses is immortalized for his daring leadership in freeing the Israelites from bondage in Egypt and for receiving the Ten Commandments atop the sacred heights of Mount Sinai. His story is a rich tapestry, interwoven with faith, resilience, and the relentless pursuit of liberation, securing his place as one of history's most pivotal and enduring figures. As we embark on this journey, we aim to engage viewers with a blend of captivating storytelling and insightful analysis. From his miraculous birth to his encounters with Pharaoh and the parting of the Red Sea, each chapter of Moses' life offers profound lessons that continue to inspire millions today. Join us as we explore not just the events that shaped Moses' legacy, but also the enduring impact of his teachings on morality and justice. This documentary invites you to uncover the layers of his story, revealing why Moses remains a beacon of hope and resilience across cultures and generations. Moses' early life is a fascinating tale that begins in a time of oppression for the Israelites in Egypt. Born to Hebrew parents during a period when Pharaoh ordered the death of all newborn Hebrew boys, Moses' survival was nothing short of miraculous. To protect him, his mother placed him in a basket and set him adrift on the Nile River. It was here that fate intervened. Pharaoh's daughter discovered the infant and, moved by compassion, adopted him as her own. Growing up in the opulent palace of Egypt, Moses was immersed in a world of privilege, yet he remained connected to his Hebrew roots. The cultural and historical context of Egypt during his childhood was marked by the grandeur of the empire, but also by the harsh realities faced by enslaved populations. Key figures in Moses' early life, including his biological mother, who served as his nurse, and his adoptive mother, played crucial roles in shaping his identity. These influences would later guide him on his path to becoming a leader and liberator, setting the stage for the monumental events that would define his legacy. One of the most pivotal moments in Moses' life occurs when he encounters God in the form of a burning bush on Mount Horeb. This extraordinary event signifies a divine calling, marking the beginning of Moses' transformation from a shepherd into a leader destined to liberate the Israelites. The bush, engulfed in flames yet not consumed, symbolizes God's presence and power, serving as a powerful reminder that the sacred can emerge from the ordinary. Initially, Moses is reluctant to accept this monumental task. He questions his own abilities, expressing doubts about his speaking skills and the potential disbelief of the Israelites. However, God reassures him, promising divine support and guidance. This exchange highlights the theme of faith overcoming fear as Moses gradually begins to understand the gravity of his mission. The burning bush is not just a miraculous sight, it is the catalyst that propels Moses into action. This encounter sets the stage for his journey to confront Pharaoh and demand the freedom of his people. It marks the beginning of a transformative mission that would change the course of history for the Israelites and solidify Moses' legacy as a prophet and leader. The exodus of the Israelites from Egypt is a dramatic and transformative event, marked by a series of divine interventions aimed at persuading Pharaoh to release the enslaved people. God sends 10 plagues upon Egypt, each more severe than the last, including turning the Nile into blood, swarms of locusts, and the death of the firstborn. These plagues serve not only as a demonstration of God's power, but also as a means to compel Pharaoh to relent. Central to the Exodus narrative is the significance of the Passover, a pivotal moment when the Israelites marked their doorposts with lamb's blood, signaling the angel of death to pass over their homes. This act of faith becomes a symbol of salvation and deliverance, establishing Passover as a lasting tradition in Jewish culture. Despite the miraculous signs, Moses and the Israelites face numerous challenges during their escape. They confront Pharaoh's hardened heart, the fear of pursuing soldiers, and the daunting task of crossing the Red Sea. Each obstacle tests their faith and resilience, ultimately leading to a defining moment of liberation that shapes their identity as a people chosen for a covenant with God. A vast, moonlit sea stretches endlessly before an immense crowd of weary yet desperate Israelites. Their faces, illuminated by flickering torches and the pale glow of the stars, are etched with fear and hope as they huddle together on the sandy shore. Behind them, a deafening thunder of chariots and war cries shakes the earth. Pharaoh's mighty army, clad in gleaming bronze and riding fierce war horses, races forward, their spears and banners catching the night's cold wind. The air is thick with tension, the scent of salt water mixing with the sweat of thousands who have nowhere left to run. At the water's edge, Moses stands firm, his silhouette outlined against the shimmering sea. His long robe billows in the wind, and his weathered face is alight with divine purpose. In his grasp, the ancient wooden staff, God's instrument of power, radiates with an ethereal glow. He raises it high above his head, his voice booming over the terrified cries of his people. "Stand firm and see the salvation of the Lord," he declares, his words carrying a force beyond human strength. Suddenly the heavens roar with divine energy. A mighty wind howls through the night, swirling around Moses like a celestial storm. The sea trembles, its surface rippling violently as if obeying an unseen command. Then, with a thunderous crash, the waters explode apart, rising into two towering walls that stretch impossibly high, glistening under the moonlight like translucent sapphire. Cascading torrents of water surge upward, forming immense walls of liquid fury, frozen in place by divine command. The seafloor, once buried beneath crushing depths, emerges as a dry and dusty path, stretching endlessly into the misty darkness beyond. The Israelites stare in stunned silence, eyes wide with disbelief. Then, one by one, they step forward, their bare feet touching the firm ground where the sea once reigned. Mothers clutch their children, elders lean on their staffs, and warriors glance back at the advancing Egyptians before surging forward, following Moses into the heart of the miraculous passage. The wind howls between the towering water walls, where faint silhouettes of fish swim in confusion, trapped between the divine forces holding back the sea. Behind them, Pharaoh's army hesitates only for a moment before their commander bellows an order. With a mighty roar, chariots surge forward, their iron-rimmed wheels churning up dust from the exposed seabed. The pounding of hooves echoes between the walls of water, and the glow of torches flickers against the swirling mist. The Egyptians press on, their determination fueled by Pharaoh's unyielding wrath. But as the last of the Israelites emerge safely on the other side, Moses turns once more, his staff raised toward the heavens. In that instant, the divine wind ceases, and an eerie silence falls over the passage. The Egyptian warriors, now deep within the parted sea, glance upward as the towering walls of water tremble violently. Then, with a deafening roar, the sea collapses. A cataclysmic wave surges forward, engulfing the chariots, drowning the warriors, and silencing Pharaoh's once mighty army beneath the crushing fury of the returning sea. Screams are lost to the raging waters as horses rear in terror, their riders thrown into the abyss. The last torches flicker and vanish beneath the churning depths, and within moments, the ocean is still once more, as if the miraculous passage had never existed. As dawn's first light breaks across the horizon, the Israelites stand in breathless awe, their gazes fixed upon the endless expanse of water. The shore is littered with the remnants of Pharaoh's army, broken chariots, shattered shields, and lifeless forms washed ashore by the tide. The impossible has happened. and the oppressors who once enslaved them are no more. A great cry of praise rises among the people as they lift their voices in song, their faith renewed by the undeniable power of the Almighty. On a distant ridge, Moses gazes upon the sea, the echoes of divine power still trembling in the wind. The journey to the promised land has truly begun. The giving of the Ten Commandments on Mount Sinai is a foundational moment in the history of the Israelites and a cornerstone of moral and ethical laws that resonate through time. After leading the Israelites out of Egypt, Moses ascends the mountain, where he receives these divine laws directly from God. This event underscores the covenant between God and his people, establishing guidelines for righteous living and communal harmony. The Ten Commandments serve as a moral compass, addressing fundamental aspects of human behavior, such as respect for parents, prohibitions against murder and theft, and the importance of honesty. These laws not only shaped the ethical framework of the Israelite community, but also laid the groundwork for legal systems and moral philosophies in various cultures around the world. The impact of the Ten Commandments extends far beyond ancient Israel. They have influenced countless societies, inspiring movements for justice and human rights throughout history. By providing a clear set of principles, the commandments fostered a sense of identity and purpose among the Israelites, guiding them in their journey toward becoming a nation dedicated to serving God and upholding justice. A towering, jagged mountain looms under a darkened sky, its peak shrouded in swirling mist as distant thunder rumbles through the heavens. At its summit, an intense glow radiates from a divine presence, illuminating the rugged stone surface. In the foreground, Moses, an elderly yet powerful figure with a long flowing beard and weathered robes, stands in awe. His outstretched hands, trembling with reverence, receive two massive stone tablets chiseled with ancient Hebrew inscriptions, the Ten Commandments, etched by the very hand of God. Bolts of lightning crackle around him, casting eerie shadows across the rocky terrain, while the air vibrates with an otherworldly energy. Below, at the mountain's base, thousands of Israelites stand in anxious anticipation, their faces lit by flickering torchlight. Some bow in reverence, while others whisper in hushed tones, sensing the weight of this sacred moment. The atmosphere is thick with divine power, an ethereal blend of golden light and rolling clouds signaling a covenant between God and his chosen people. As Moses looks upon the tablets, the commandments stand boldly etched into the stone, each one a sacred decree meant to guide humanity. 1. You shall have no other gods before me. The divine call to absolute faithfulness, declaring that no other deity shall take the place of the one true God. 2. You shall not make for yourself a carved image, a command against idolatry, warning against worshipping false gods or material creations. 3. You shall not take the name of the Lord your God in vain, a decree that upholds the sanctity of God's name, forbidding its misuse. 4. Remember the Sabbath day, to keep it holy, a call to rest and worship, honoring the seventh day as sacred. 5. Honor your father and your mother, a fundamental principle of respect and family unity, ensuring longevity and prosperity. 6. You shall not murder, a powerful command safeguarding the sanctity of human life. 7. You shall not commit adultery, a decree upholding faithfulness in marriage and purity of relationships. 8. You shall not steal, a moral law preserving honesty and justice in all dealings. 9. You shall not bear false witness against your neighbor, a command against lies and deception, protecting truth and integrity. 10. You shall not covet, a final decree addressing envy and desire, ensuring contentment with what one has. As Moses reads the sacred words, the weight of divine law presses upon his soul. This is not merely a set of rules. It is a covenant, a guide to righteousness, and a foundation for civilization itself. The storm rages above, but in this moment, clarity and purpose shine brighter than the flashes of lightning. The commandments, forged by divine will echo through generations, shaping the hearts and laws of humanity for centuries to come. The desert sun blazes mercilessly over the Israelite camp, casting long, wavering shadows across the rocky terrain. In the heart of the encampment, a massive golden statue gleams in the light, a calf, meticulously sculpted and polished, its golden surface reflecting the flickering flames of surrounding torches. Drums pound in rhythmic beats as men and women dance wildly, their voices raised in shouts of revelry. The scent of burning offerings lingers in the air, mingling with the acrid smoke rising from the crude altar before the idol. Laughter and chants of worship echo through the valley, a stark betrayal of the covenant they had sworn to uphold. Suddenly, a figure appears atop the rocky ridge overlooking the camp. Moses, his weathered face hardened with fury, stands tall, the divine glow of Mount Sinai still radiating faintly from his presence. His piercing eyes scan the chaotic scene below. His people, the very ones God had delivered from bondage, now bowing before an idol forged by their own hands. In his grasp, the sacred stone tablets, inscribed by the very hand of God, bear the eternal words of the covenant. His grip tightens, his knuckles white with uncontained rage. Then, with a mighty roar, Moses lifts the tablets high above his head and hurls them down with earth-shaking force. The stone shatters against the rocks, splintering into countless fragments, a physical manifestation of the broken covenant. A gasp ripples through the crowd as the revelry ceases, their eyes turning in shock and terror toward their leader. The joyous music dies, replaced by an eerie silence, broken only by the howling wind sweeping through the valley. With fire in his eyes, Moses storms into the camp, his voice thunderous with divine wrath. He points a trembling finger at the golden calf, the false god they had dared to worship. Without hesitation, he seizes the idol, its golden frame heavy yet powerless in his grasp. Summoning his strength, he casts it into the raging fire, watching as the once revered statue melts into a molten stream. But his judgment is not finished. Scooping up the smoldering remains, Moses grinds the gold into fine dust, scattering it into the nearest stream. His voice rises in command, forcing the Israelites to drink the tainted water, a bitter taste of their own sin. Shame and fear grip the people as they realize the depth of their betrayal. Then Moses stands before them, his presence towering with divine authority. "Whoever is on the Lord's side, come to me," he declares, his voice cutting through the air like a blade. From the trembling crowd, the sons of Levi step forward, their eyes burning with renewed devotion. Moses turns to them with solemn resolve, delivering the final judgment upon those who refuse to repent. As the sun sets behind the mountains, the camp is forever changed. The echoes of sin still linger in the air, but the path of righteousness has been restored. Moses, weary yet unwavering, retreats once more to seek God's mercy, carrying the weight of a nation's transgression upon his shoulders. Moses' role as a leader during the Israelites' journey in the wilderness is marked by immense challenges and profound moments of growth. Leading a diverse group of former slaves, many of whom were resistant to change and often rebellious, Moses faced constant trials. From managing disputes among the people to addressing their fears and complaints about food and water, his leadership was tested at every turn. Key moments highlight Moses' exceptional leadership qualities. For instance, when the Israelites faced the threat of starvation, he interceded with God, who provided manna from heaven. His ability to communicate with God and seek divine guidance not only reassured the people, but also reinforced his authority as their leader. Another significant moment was when he struck the rock to provide water, demonstrating both his frustration and his reliance on God's power. Throughout their journey, the relationship between Moses and God deepened. Moses often sought God's counsel, showing humility and a willingness to listen. This connection not only empowered him to lead effectively, but also served as a model of faith for the Israelites, illustrating the importance of trust and obedience in their shared journey toward the Promised Land. The legacy of Moses is profound, leaving an indelible mark on religion and culture across the globe. In Judaism, he is revered as the greatest prophet and lawgiver, credited with receiving the Torah and guiding the Israelites to freedom. Christianity views Moses as a precursor to Jesus, embodying themes of deliverance and divine guidance. In Islam, he is known as Musa, a significant prophet whose story emphasizes faith and perseverance in the face of adversity. Moses' narrative has inspired countless works of literature and art throughout history. From Michelangelo's iconic sculpture of Moses to the dramatic retellings in novels and films, his story continues to captivate the imagination of artists and writers. These interpretations often explore themes of liberation, justice, and moral responsibility, reflecting the timeless relevance of his journey. In contemporary society, Moses' teachings resonate in discussions about ethics, justice, and human rights. His emphasis on the importance of community, accountability, and faith continues to inspire movements for social change. As a symbol of resilience and leadership, Moses remains a guiding figure, reminding us of the enduring power of faith and the quest for freedom in our lives today. In this documentary, we've explored the remarkable life and legacy of Moses, a figure whose influence transcends time and culture. From his miraculous birth and upbringing in Egypt to his divine calling at the burning bush, Moses emerged as a leader who guided the Israelites through their struggles toward freedom. We examined the significance of the Ten Commandments, which laid the foundation for moral and ethical laws that continue to resonate today. Moses' leadership during the Israelites' journey in the wilderness showcased his resilience and deep connection with God, highlighting the importance of faith and community. His story serves as a powerful reminder of the enduring quest for justice and liberation, inspiring generations across Judaism, Christianity, and Islam. As we conclude, we encourage you to reflect on the lessons learned from Moses' journey. Lessons of courage, faith, and the importance of standing up for what is right. If you enjoyed this exploration of Moses' life and legacy, please subscribe to our channel, like this video, and share it with others who may find inspiration in this timeless story. Thank you for joining us on this journey.